Hello, my name is Teacher Kelly. Today I wanted to talk to you about Outschool. What classes have worked, what classes didn't work, how I decided what to teach, a few things I learned as a newbie. I've been there for 1 month now, so maybe those of you who've been there less time or you're just thinking about joining Outschool, this video is for you. So the first class that I created on Outschool was an American Girl tea party. Now, I'm not always this lucky in life, so don't be jealous of me, but I really lucked out on this one that the very first class that I tried was a hit. How did I decide what to teach? Well, you research on Outschool the same way you research when you're selling something on eBay. Go look at other classes and other teachers and what they're offering in the similar of what you want to offer or what are they charging, just to get ideas. Don't copy anyone. And then think about how you could make that course a little bit different from everybody else. So there were a lot of American Girl classes on Outschool. There's a lot of historical classes because the books that go with American Girl are historical fiction. But nobody was doing a tea party. And I have friends who are doing tea parties. Shout out to Mindy, she's doing a tea party, but she's not doing American Girl. She was doing something else in a younger age range, so I decided to do an American Girl tea party. Kids love American Girls and they're really popular, so that class sells itself. So far, knock on wood, every single class that I've done has sold out, even if I've only done it a few days ahead of time. It will sell out even that day. I've had a booking an hour and 20 minutes before class started before. So that class was a hit, yes. All right, so another way you can get ideas is through the Sunday night parent email that goes out. So I've done a few classes off that. Actually, I did get the idea about the American Girl class from that one too. But I created a strawberry shortcake tea party because a parent requested that. I also created a Thomas the Train story time. That came up as a Sunday night parent request. For me, it was nostalgia. My son is now 13 and a teenager, but he used to really be into Thomas, and I missed the days when he was little, so when I saw that as a parent request, I thought, yes, I can teach Thomas story time. So those were two classes that really haven't worked out and I haven't really gotten any bookings for. And I charge a lot less too. So also what you charge can depend on how popular it is. It's the law of supply and demand. If more people want it and less other teachers are offering it, you can charge more. So I charge $10 for 30 minutes for my American Girl class. For both the Thomas and the strawberry shortcake tea party, I only charge $5 for 30 minutes, but I have no bookings. So also, if a parent can request, they can send you a message through Outschool and ask you to open a session. So I've had parents for both of those two classes send me an email and ask me to open a session with their availability and then not book the class. So they requested me to open a time and then didn't book the class. Well, anyways, I have a Thomas the Train story time coming up in a few days, about 5 days from now. I have one learner in the class. I'd be willing to teach it if I have at least 3, so we'll see how that goes. So far, I haven't taught anything. All right, so another class I have out is called Owl Diaries. It's a book discussion, and if any of you come to my live stream, I was telling you about a side job I did, a book discussion on Owl Diaries, so I decided to create a class. Now that class is getting bookings. It hasn't sold out like my American Girl class, but it's getting bookings. And here's the thing, it's the same gender and age range that the American Girl class is under. So I got one repeat customer. A mom signed her 2 daughters up for my class, and the older one had been to the American Girl class. So there is kind of an advantage in staying with, one age range and gender, is that you could get repeat customers. I love variety, and I'm offering a variety of classes on Outschool, not all the same age range, but that is an advantage of staying in. So anyways, I'm making slightly less on that class. I'm charging $10 for 45 minutes. It's a book discussion. We needed more time. And I capped it off at only 6 learners. My American Girl is 8. Because a discussion, I want to give people time to talk. Slightly younger age range, although they overlap with the American Girl. So I have less learners. So I will be making less off that class, but I'm glad I have bookings. I'm glad I have a different class that is getting bookings. I teach that class in a few days. I'll let you know how it goes. Another class that I'm doing is the election of 2000, Bush versus Gore. Now, when I researched, there were a lot of people doing election classes. It is an election season, so it's very relevant. It's something parents want their kids to learn about, but no one was specifically doing this election. I decided to do this election because it's a very historical election. We didn't even know who our president would be for 36 days. The Supreme Court got involved. Anyways, nobody else was doing this specific election, so that's how I made it different. I don't know how the bookings will be. I will let you know. I'm doing a trial run on Monday with some of my friends' kids. I wanted to test it out before I get paying customers. You know, first time I'm using Google Slides, first time I'm using YouTube. And the first time, you know, I don't even know how long to make the class. So I'm testing it out and I'll let you know how it's going to go. I also hope that this class will be a class that will still book when everybody else goes back to school and we're just left with the homeschoolers on Outschool. All right, what are some other classes that I have tried? Well, let me let you know what else I've tried. Let's see, I did a Junie B. Jones book club. So what I did for that was also a Sunday night parent request. I created the class, it got approved. I never put a section up. It is on my profile so people can request a class. But the reason I didn't is because then I went to research it yes, I did it after I actually approved the class. And there were so many Junie B. Jones that, like I was saying, make your class different. I mean, there was every type of class you could think of. I didn't even know if I could make it any different. There's so many classes out there. And the market's so flooded with Junie B. Jones. Like, I saw one woman selling her class for $5 for an hour class. So I was like, I never opened a section for it. It is on my class profile. If someone can request it. I have one person who saved it. I also created a class about ticks and protecting yourself from Lyme disease. That also was a Sunday night request. And I decided to read a children's book about ticks. It has gotten no bookings so far. It's in a few days. We'll see if it gets any. If it doesn't, I just move on. Maybe it's easy for me to feel that way because my very first class does well with bookings. So if I get classes that don't book, I just move on. So that's also my advice to you if you're new. If you have a class that isn't booking, try something else. I'm sure there's more than one thing you have a passion about, you know about. Try another class. Just try something else if it doesn't work. All right, so also sometimes what I'll do is I will just, off the Sunday night list, just create a title. Come back to it later. So a couple Sundays ago, someone wanted to know how to play Monopoly. And I was going to list that class, but then I started thinking about it, and there's so many different rules and so many different ways people play. You would have to know like every single way somebody played, and I didn't want to do all that. It's different than just someone asking you how to play who's over at your house and you explain it. So I decided not to even open anything. I'm looking at my list to see if I have left anything out. I also want to create, ESL tutoring, which I haven't done yet. But anyways, I'm just letting you know what worked, what didn't, how to research. And I hope it gave you some ideas. I don't really want anyone to copy me, but just ideas of how you come up with classes and what to do. And don't give up if you don't have any bookings again. Just create something else. All right, let me know what you're teaching at Outschool, what you're thinking of teaching, and how are your bookings. All right, happy teaching.